Are you committing this leapy mistake in your melodies? That's what we're going to talk about today on Dr. Doug's Daily Tips for how to write great LDS church music. To help us discover if you're making this leapy mistake in your melody writing, we're going to use Primary Song, Our Chapel is a Sacred Place, by my teacher, Darwin Wolford, which is found on page 30 of the Primary Children's Songbook on the bottom half, 30B. Okay, let's talk about this. Melodies. Lots of ideas about how to write a good melody, but one of the things to watch out for is a common mistake when using a leap in your melody. So what do I mean by a leap? Well, you can write a melody that is very stepwise, like row, row, row your boat. It's just stepping up the scale. Okay, that's a nice way to start a melody. But you can also have leaps in your melody. Big leaps, and there are some big leaps in this primary song. However, when you leap, you want to be careful. Okay, so let me play this song for you, and then we'll discuss how this song avoids the leapy mistake that I see crop up a little too often in my students who are working on songs or in other songs that appear now and then. Okay, here goes this little song. Lovely little tune, but now let's look at the leaps. What you want to be careful with is too many leaps in a row, okay? When you have a big leap, here's the secret. You want to find a way to step out of the big leap. So look here at the second half. We start on this high C, and then we step into the D, but then we have a big leap down to F sharp. So we step into it, and then a super big leap. But what do we do after the leap? We step out of the leap. That's the secret. When you have a big leap, you want to step out of it. If your big leap is followed by another leap, and especially if it's another big leap, that often gets you into trouble. What happens is it makes your melody feel disjunct and not like it belongs to itself. Now, there are some famous melodies that have big leaps in them, but they step out of them either immediately or very soon thereafter. And I have an example for you in this song of a very soon thereafter kind of step, which we'll get to in just a second. But let's finish this little passage. Once again, we're starting with the high C. We step to the D, then big leap down to the F sharp. And because of this big leap, we want to step, and usually you want to step in the opposite direction. Though sometimes you can step in the same direction. But the bigger the leap, the more you want to step in the opposite direction after the leap. Okay, then we get that same leap starting over, as if we're doing the same thing again. This time it repeats itself, and then another big leap down, but after that big leap, step in the opposite direction. Then it happens again. We go here, we step, big leap, step in the opposite direction. Okay, this is an excellent technique. Now, what if you have multiple leaps in a row? There's a couple ways to approach multiple leaps in a row, but the one I want to highlight today is in tandem with this stepping after a leap. Okay, look at the opening. The opening of this little song starts on that low middle C, leaps way up to the A. That's a big leap. After a big leap like that, you want to step in the opposite direction. But does it? No. It leaps again. It does a really big leap down to a D. But let's zoom out a little bit. What we have happening here is this high A does eventually step down. It just waits a few beats. And so after this big leap, we're expecting a step down, but before we get to it, the composer does another big leap down to the D. This big leap does step out of it, and so it makes this little line from middle C to D to E continue itself. Okay, and then meanwhile, this high A that we kind of left hanging in the air, we left it hanging there because we did a big leap down. It needs to stop hanging and needs to resolve. So it just does it in a delayed fashion. Okay, so if you end up doing 2 big leaps in a row, make sure you resolve them by step, either immediately or soon thereafter. Okay, that's your tip for today. Watch out for doing too many big leaps without resolution by step. That's the key, alrighty? It'll help your melodies to feel more cohesive, more like they belong to themselves, and less disjunct. If you enjoyed this video, please hit subscribe, ring the bell so you get notified each time I post a new video like this. And if you'd like more free tips and lessons on how to write great LDS church music, please head over to latterdaymusiversity.com where you can get a bunch more free tips. Thanks for tuning in. See you next time.